Mundo's back, so hello Mundo.
Hello guys. Good evening.
Got a Renault. Yep, good evening Mundo. Got a Renault coming out of the pit lane. Look who this is. Sorry, I'm a bit amateur with all these drivers. We've got Anfield Cup in the house. So
What have
he's just about to start a lap.
what has the
What's
discussion
happened?
been about?
Yeah, it's just really been about Hungary and the changeable conditions. I mean, this is Inters, so in a way it's unknown for drivers. In the dry conditions, I'm sure a lot of these guys have put in at least an hour of practice, so it's kind of a known quantity coming into qualifying. But intermediates completely changes the game, really, for the drivers. It means their style of practice changes, as Bossly's just put in a 1 minute 30.8, very impressive from him. But Mundo, I'm sure you can tell us firsthand that it's very difficult in changeable conditions when you go into a qualifying session that only has 12 minutes in it.
Well, yeah. I will actually talk about that when the guys go out for the last lap, because then I can talk about the track and etc. Actually, just quickly want to refresh about the championship and what has happened, so you can be a bit updated. So, by the way, echo is a bit an issue for you. We are 10 rounds in, and Thomas is leading the championship really dominantly, followed by Fred in the other Ferrari. So, championship is probably not something to think about at the top guys, at least, but in the middle pack it's really close. And one of the drivers that has stood out to me is Leo, no doubt. P5 in the championship so far. Very consistent, not quickest driver, but already got a podium, second place around Monaco. So that was
yeah, I think if you've got the consistency and the racecraft there, then the pace will kind of come naturally afterwards. I think if you've got pace without consistency and racecraft, it can kind of start your league racing career off in a bad way, and sometimes it can demotivate people and really get them off to a wrong start, because it's very confidence damaging when you can't really get a good flow going in the season and have DNFs. So it's very impressive from Leo. If I'm not mistaken, Mundo, this is his first league, the first time he's really been competitively league racing.
Indeed. I mean, he's never raced in a league before, I don't think. Rookie,
it's very,
so
it's
quite rare, yeah.
As well, that he's got that kind of craft at the... I mean, drivers started off in tier 2, one of the front runners, and now he's raced in AOR tier 1, so it really does show that some of these drivers that you're watching have definitely got the potential to go further.
Anyways, let's go for a lap around the tricky weather conditions Hungarian with HotDog and Ferrari, heading into the long straight into turn 1. A controversial corner for SRL's history, if you remember that Gauche.
Season 2.
But HotDog takes that nicely into turn 2, now braking just before the 50 meters board. Tries to get the traction and power down as soon as possible. Rampage gets out of the way nicely there. Now on to turn 3, I believe. Gets a bit of a spin there, but that's exit. What do you call it? Anyways, into this really quick corner. You actually take that to stake for on dry, but 5th here on the wets. Now onto this lovely chicane just after the 50-meter board. Hitting that nicely and not too much outside. Gets a bit wheel spin there, but that's fine. Now into this S section that really characterizes this track. Actually, let me get some split times here. Oh, the Ferrari driver 31.3 second 2 split time. I'm not sure if that's gonna get him pole. Anyways, into the final top we go, Gauche.
Yeah, very impressive lap so far from HotDog. Not really any real mistakes, hitting the apexes. So it's been very, very tidy, and he's already got pole position. So in a way, weights off his shoulders a little bit, but he's taken that final corner very nicely, and that's him up into P1. 1 minute 30.2, very impressive from him. So it's HotDog, Hyte, and Fredster, as it has been several times this season. Running up the top 3. We've got Shemileheskey in P6, Necruz in P5, Bossly in P4. Very impressive effort from him. He's also another guy like Tielio that's really starting to show some potential, and it'll be really good to see him hopefully coming through the ranks in League Racing. Because I know he's putting the time in to the game.
I'm just following Hyte, who can contend HotDog for the pole at the moment. I'm not sure, he was a bit, I think it was 1/10 off at the first sector. He's still on the lap, so I'm just gonna go on board with him. Him and Fred are those two contend. And so, let's see. Hyte into the last few corners.
Yep, impressive there. Looking very even to HotDog. It's going to be very close in terms of this qualifying battle. He's really taken that second to last corner nicely. Can he hook it up on the apex of last corner? How early does he dare to get on the throttle? Seems very nice for him there. A little bit of wheel spin. I think he's slightly... Oh, that's very close. That's under half tenth in it. But HotDog's got pole.
Wow,
very close.
HotDog gets pole at Hyte. How was he that close to HotDog with that lap? Wow.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. I think it looked a bit more scruffy than what Thomas managed. But I guess he probably took a lot more speed through the corners because maybe Thomas was leaving a bit in his pocket, if you get what I mean. Like that.
Yeah. Surprise for me is not Shemileheskey, because I was got surprised last time that he had such good pace. I'm gonna say Yeti because that's probably one of his highest qualifications so far. Alex, as I know him, who are good to score points, the bottom points 8 to 10. So if you can keep completing the rest, then you'll have good chances of.
Negative surprise, something that's not good to see is Tielio, who's been disqualified actually for parking in a dangerous location. So yeah, that's not ideal for him, but it'll be really good to see how he can fight back from last. Well, kind of drivers that fight back from last, it's
also
very difficult.
You don't know Adam Lee, but Adam Lee is known for being quite far up the grid, so I'm surprised that he hasn't set a lap.
So that's going to be two guys fighting it through. I'm looking forward to the battle at the front because HotDog, Hyte and Fredster, both very free, respectable and fast drivers.
Yeah, if you can go
Necruz as well in P5. He's aggressive and he will go for an overtake if he finds a slight move. But yeah, let's go through the order, Mundo.
That's I can't do it. HotDog, Hyte, Fred, Bossly, Necruz, Shemileheskey, Antibeacon, Ravikud, Cheetah, Yeti, Enfield Cut, Rampage, Melter, Steve Vibro, Adam Lee, and Tielio.
Yep, cheers, Mundo. Going into the race now. It's going to be interesting. Seems like it's going to be a dry race. Just getting it.
As always, guys, tune in for those tuning in the stream. Let us know your thoughts throughout the race, and we'll do our best to comment and with you guys. Maybe not. Anyways, we're on for the formation lap. HotDog on pole. 16 drivers. Dry race so far. Dry start. This on the soft tires.
Go on, mate. It doesn't look like it's going to rain anytime soon. It's going to add a very interesting mix into the race, actually, having two different tyre strategies. Obviously, being on the soft, if you're new to F1, means Fredster can go a lot longer than Hyte and HotDog.
That's really interesting,
and it will probably mean he's faster at the end, so that'll be very interesting.
Because of the weather quality, there was free choice for tyre, as you said, and Fred chose to do the soft ready, so if he can make that out, would be interesting to see how his pace and race would be compared to Hyte and HotDog, the two rivals.
Yep, just coming through now. Very end of the formation lap. This is soon when the cars will be taken over by the game, and that is basically it in terms of the preparation from their race. Then it's preparing for them 5 lights and the crucial start. I'm sure a lot will happen at the start because Hungary is a difficult track to overtake. A lot of people are going to be wanting to get off to a good start. It's very crucial. A couple of people being disqualified from the formation lap. Never ideal, really, as a league racer if you get off to that kind of start, but it's not the actual race, so it's not the end of the world. But here we are, ready for the 5 lights.
Can HotDog submit this quali pole to a race win? We'll find out now when the lights go out in just a moment. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go. HotDog gets a shaky start there. HotDog is already side by side, if I'm right. Here we go into turn 1. Fredster's a mediocre start now around the outside.
Yep, Hyte's got the inside
tries
line.
to go. Hyte got the inside line, and now Fredster's gonna have a play, not really side by side with Hyte now. HotDog's gonna have the inside line, make slight contact.
This is very close.
Oh, still side by side now into turn 3, I think it is, and Hyte gets the lead at the moment, Gauche.
Yeah, it seems like Hyte's got the upper hand going into turn 4. Not ideal for HotDog, but there's 35 laps in this race, and that is only lap 1. He's still in P2. His car's absolutely fine. Adam Lee's got a 5-second stop-go penalty because he's had a collision with Cheetah. In terms of gainers, Leo started P16. He's already up into P7, so it looks like there's been some incidents further back. Vapid in P5, Netcruise in P4. He's been known for good starts, and he's right up behind Fredster, so this should be very interesting. Obviously, he's going to be on the faster tyres. Softs at the minute are going to be cold tyres, and they're going to be a lot slower than the super soft. So as the race goes on, it's going to come to Fredster. He's just got to be patient, and hopefully he will have a battle with HotDog.
We have a massive battle for the last point position. Shemileheskey goes a bit wide. I'm not sure if he has damage. Indeed he has. Goes into the pits. That's the Williams driver having not that decent race. Same with Bossly and Adam Lee. That's unfortunate. Anyways, Rampage in the slipstream of Beacon in the soft tires. He lost some positions. If you caught that in lap 1, guys. Hyte still leading 8 tenths in front. Let's see, what about Netcruise in P4 in the Red Bull? Moved up as full time, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, he's also on the soft tires. So interesting tire strategy choice. Also Vapid Coot in the Merc having a clean start. But Leo is probably the winner so far, isn't it, Gauche?
Yeah, it's all been very, very good for Leo. All of these cars together, and he's gained a lot of positions. Bit of a corner cut there. I think he slightly missed the apex to the first part of the corner. The thing about Hungary, Hyte's retired.
Hyte has retired. Hyte has retired from the race. That's him out. He's spinned it into the middle sector. That's disaster for the Force India driver. And that's HotDog into the lead now. What about Leo? He's gonna go down the inside of Enfield Cup into the last sector. He makes that move stick. Nice move by the McLaren driver, and he's now into the top 5 positions.
Fantastic from Leo, and for someone who's relatively unexperienced in league racing to get from last to 5th in the process of 3 laps is very, very impressive. Shows he could be a guy to look out for in future seasons and future races. But anyway, looking at the lead battle, we've got Netcruise only half a second off Fredster, and we've also got Fredster only 1 second off HotDog. He's on the better tyres as well. So I'd say around about lap 8, lap 9, the advantage will start to come to Fred. So if he can keep up with HotDog, and
so Rampage has made a move on Beacon now for P8. Beacon was on the medium, so pretty easy move from Rampage there, Gauche.
Yep. Good progress from Rampage. He's now going to be up behind CRT Malta. I know he's been a little bit inconsistent in this season, but he's been showing some potential, and hopefully he can deliver on it this race. Been a bit of a weird start to it actually, because a lot of guys have been involved in incidents. Obviously, Shemileheskey and I think Bossly as well. He's a guy that's kind of gone under the radar this race because he started P4 and he's all the way down in P13. Probably had to make a pit stop. Anyways, the biggest gap that's starting to open up is Vapid. And Tielio is closing on Vapid, so with him in P5, he should be able to make some progress. And he could. Another thing that could come in quite interesting is the pit stops, because Vapid and Tielio, obviously they're on softs, if I'm not mistaken, and HotDog's on super softs. So when they pit, this could be very close.
Interesting fact: HotDog is the only driver staying out on those super soft tires who has survived. All the other, the longest strategy, Fred, Necruz, Vapid, and etc. We are actually having a battle for P6. Let's go on board with Melter into this section if you want to comment on that, Gauche.
Yep, sure. So we got Malta currently in his battle for P6. He's just behind Tier. He's just behind. Sorry about that. He's just behind Anfield Cup.
Anfield Cup has spinned it. Anfield Cup.
Spin.
Oh no.
Massive that's not ideal. Can he recover it? He's gonna do it.
He's got damage.
He's lost his front wing now.
That's disaster for the Haas driver.
Yeah, that's not good. Not at all. And that's kind of ruined his chances of a good result. Obviously having the pressure of a faster driver behind you is something that some guys in this league may not be quite as used to as the guys in Tier 1. But I think there's kind of an example of what happens when you push the boundaries of a tight track that's very just, you're on your edge, if you get what I mean. The Hungary Mundo, you know what I mean. You don't really have time to catch your breath.
Yeah, it's a really pressure track.
Yeah.
The S's, and also just out of the exit of the after the first sector, Anfield Cup lost his concentration, and is now coming into the pits, going for a longer run. He's gonna have to hope that something happens in order to get him back into the points position. He was in a really good place, but unfortunately pressure from Malta resulted in a disaster. So
Tielio's broke that 2-second window to Vapid, now only 1.7 behind. So I'm going to be 1.6, so he's getting a move on in this race. Necruz is also slightly dropping off the back of Fredster, but he's definitely still in contention. So if Tielio really does have the pace on Vapid and can get past Vapid, then it seems like he could be in the fight for P2, if not possibly even higher than that if the race continues to go in his way. He's very quick. He's gained on Vapid about 7 tenths already on this lap, and I believe Vapid is... Oh, Vapid's on the soft as well. I take that back. So they're on the same compound tyre.
It's only HotDog on service.
He's got a lot of pace. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
so
I'm wondering when the pit
window...
thinking
of that decision? Do you think he'll be regretting it, or do you think he'll be thinking, yeah, I should be alright? Depends how long he can take the tires as well.
The gap is pretty much the same. I think HotDog has an advantage, but later for the race he's gonna bite him a bit. So it's too early to judge on, if you get me.
Yeah, so I get what you mean.
Surely the soft runners are gonna have an advantage at the end.
I would say roundabout now is when the softs are going to really start to close on the super softs. Obviously, the super softs are going to start to get more worn. So that is the main point, because as the laps go on, the percentages go up of the tyre wear, and probably the least you can exert out of them. And the thing about the softs is because they're slower than the super softs, it means they last a lot longer. And soon we're going to have a moment where the super softs drop off and the softs are still fine, so that means the super soft drivers will be slower and have to go into the pits. Depends really what HotDog can do and what his pace is like, but I would say at the minute Fredster, if I had to be one of them drivers, I'd be Fredster.
Yeah, also Necruz, not to count out, only 1.4 behind Fred, so If Fred actually catching half a second there around that to HotDog, so
Yeah.
interesting to see the battle for the lead throughout the race.
You also get dirty air at Hungary, which is a very integral part of this race. Obviously, if you're getting dirty air from the car in front, that means you can't go as quick as you would otherwise be able to be. I wouldn't say overtaking is impossible around here, but it's definitely very difficult, and you've got to really prepare yourself over a couple of laps to get right behind that car and make the overtake. Because another thing is, if you don't make the overtake stick, that means you're back around about 7-8 tenths behind them, and you've just got to completely regroup yourself. So it's very crucial to be precise.
I'm just going on board with Anti-Beacon, who's right behind the tail of Rampage. Now coming into the end of this lovely S section. Anti-Beacon having a much better run than Rampage. Is he gonna make a move? Not quite, just braking after the 50-meter board. Interesting to see if he can make a move into the long straight, back straight. Well,
yeah, it will be. He's slightly missed the
NiNjAzZ.
apex there, which I think has kind of helped Rampage. So I'm not too sure if they'll be close enough, but there's only 4 tenths gap. So yeah, I'm sure he'll probably at least go for an overtake here. Depends how late he is on the brakes. I would say this is achievable. So let's see what he does. He goes down the inside. Oh, he's backed out of it. Rampage is going to keep P7 for now, but it certainly isn't over just yet. And I think it's more of a matter of when rather than if Anti-Beacon will get past. Another key point is Leo is now in the DRS of Vapid. I would say if he really wants to get on and try and get a podium in this race, he'll be wanting to get past him either this lap or next lap.
Podium would be really tough unless an incident happens. Look at the gap to Nick Cruz and Vapid, that's 9 seconds.
Yeah, I think he's really being held up by Vapid though, so we'll see. I would say it's possible, but it'll be difficult because obviously you never know what's going to happen in league racing. Could be an incident. Net Cruz is also getting closer to Fredster, and both are tantalisingly close. Well, if you look at the top 5, really, it seems like it's going to be a long train because soon Fredster and Net Cruz should have DRS on HotDog, and then we'll have TLEO with DRS on Vapid too. Speaking of TLEO, he's very close behind Vapid. Can he go for a move?
There we go then. TLEO in the slipstream of Vapid. He's just having a bit of a look into turn 1. Is he gonna have a look at Vapid into turn 2? Not quite. Opening a DRS. He's gonna hope to force Vapid to a mistake in the middle sector, or otherwise he has to wait for the next lap on long straight. Yeah, what do you think is in TLEO's mind right now, Gauche? Because he's just doing good at the moment.
If I was like in his position, I would be thinking, let's get past Vapid. I just need to get past him. Let's not get an incident, and then when I get past Vapid, he'll have a lot of free track. Obviously, Mouser behind him is 8 seconds back. So really, he's in no man's land, and he can just get on with his own race, do what he does best, try and put in some consistent times in, because he's been very consistent this race. And then you'd probably think about who's ahead of you as he goes for a move around the outside here. He's going to get a far better exit out of this corner. Coming into the second to last corner, is he going to go down the inside? No, he's too far back, going through, run up this hill. This is a corner that can have a couple different lines. You can go wider in and try and get a better exit, which is what I'm sure he will do because he wants to make an overtake. He's 4 tenths back, so he could be making an overtake this lap actually on lap 10.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a little bit too far back.
As you mentioned, in the middle sector, Vapid could actually made a slight mistake that could put TLEO right behind him to make a move. So it's gonna be a matter of time before Vapid makes another bigger mistake that can force him to lose a position to TLEO. Just look at that pressure he's putting on at the moment. The French driver right behind him on his tail. Vapid is doing everything. He's really under pressure. Green flag. I don't know what happened there, but anyways, into the chicane we go. It's really close at the moment.
Yeah, it's tantalisingly close for TLEO. Good driving from Vapid, I must say. He's really kind of withstanding the pressure at the minute. So I'm glad to see it. He's had a lot of time on this game though, so I'm sure he's obviously acclimatized to these kind of stressful conditions.
Oh, Telio has got a better run, starts to wrap around the
Telio,
outside into the last corner. Really close there.
Good decision from him there, actually staying back, I would say. Because now it means he'll probably get a lot better run going onto this back straight.
Yeah, he's a lot close now.
Far more realistic overtaking move going into turn 1. I would say it's kind of now or never, personally, for...
Here we go then. Around the outside, Telio goes. Maybe good defense. He's gonna get the switchback. Yes, he does.
This is
kind
close.
of opens the DRS now, Telio. Around the outside.
Now he's got the outside line.
Maybe good defense everything he can. Telio going switchback again is not enough.
Now he's gonna get a better run.
And still holds P4 into this corner. Surely not Telio can make a move here. Indeed not, he can't do.
I wouldn't say so.
Good. Still sticks to P4 unless he makes a mistake into the middle sector.
Yeah, going into turn 6 and 7, they're very close here. Just 3 tenths separating them. Can he make a move coming up into this second part of the sector where do you remember in qualifying where crashed and Vapid's disconnected?
You know, he just paused. He just paused from the game. Telio's up to P4. Maybe he let him through, I don't know.
Really? Did he extend? Did he get an illegal
overtake? It was just coasting. I just think he paused. Anyway, we're on lap 12 of the race. Fred is behind NiNjAzZ.
Oh, really?
So we missed that.
Have we missed out on that? Fred make a mistake?
Surely he has. NiNjAzZ is up to P2 and Fred is half second. Let's watch this. I don't think
that's interesting to see.
You can do much more to Telio at the moment. This to watch out for is the pit window and the battle for the podium and the lead.
Yellow flag in sector 2. What's happened here? Nothing that I can see. It's gone green now, so probably just a minor mistake from a driver.
Look at the position from Fred Gauche.
Oh, we've got a Haas spinning.
Oh, we had a collision with Steve Eyebrow and Anfield Cup into the middle sector.
Yeah. They were very close to taking out the leaders as well.
Yeah, what about Alex? Magic Yeti has also... Anfield Cup is losing it totally. What has happened here?
Yeah, Malta's closing a little bit on Vapid. That's interesting to see. Ansid Beacon right behind Malta, so it could be a interesting battle behind them guys. 4 P5. Sorry, I'm losing my words a bit. Fredster very close behind NiNjAzZ though. 6 tenths looks a bit closer to me, as the game's saying 5 tenths now, but I'm sure he'll really want to be getting that position back. But I wouldn't be in a huge rush personally if I was Fred, because I think he times in his kind of favour, so he should be alright in that regard. I'm just going to check the penalties. 2 warnings for NiNjAzZ, no warnings for Fred, and 1 warning for HotDog. So warnings will kind of be in your head. I would say, for example, NiNjAzZ will probably be taking this a little bit more defensively than the likes of HotDog, because he's got a far higher risk of getting a penalty. I'm very impressed to see that they've not got penalties yet, actually, either of the 3 of them. Shows that they're really respecting the track limits, which is always good to see.
Hungary is not that kind of track where you cut that much, I don't think.
There's T4 though, turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4, and you can also extend in some bits. But from my experience,
the game's quite lenient, as we've got HotDog coming into the pits.
Oh, yeah.
So then he's into the pits, going on to lap 13. Sorry, lap 14. We're going on to what tyres he's going to put on. I would imagine it will either be the softs or the mediums. It is the softs. Yeah. Good decision from HotDog.
HotDog pits
Don't want to
into
go on the
P3
mediums,
now. Yeah, is he gonna come ahead of Telio? That's the question. Telio Vapid is coming around straight now, just about ahead of HotDog. But that means HotDog is gonna get traffic. He goes side by side with Vapid, good into turn 1. He gets the move stick. Now Telio is up next for him. He needs to get past
Crucial.
Leo as soon as possible because he can't afford to lose time. Is that the medium tires I see, Gauche? Because
Yeah, I
that's
can
what,
see mediums.
that's medium tires for the Ferrari driver. That's
So if it's a glitch,
interesting.
but I don't understand that, to be honest. Because I think you could definitely make the softs last, and the mediums are generally quite a non-competitive tyre. And if he's on the mediums, and say for example Fred is on brand new super softs, that's 2 compounds difference, as he's really pressurising Leo. Very composed there from the French driver. Good to see. Vapid is staying behind them, but I would say nerves will probably be up for Leo. I wouldn't expect he'll
Yeah,
put a
Hot
huge
Dog
fight.
now
He
gets a
might
better
want to
exit now down the inside
Yeah.
of Leo. I think no, Leo gets ahead.
Interesting. He's managed to keep it.
Hopefully there won't be a
He's not
collision. That
gone
would be
wide
so
either.
unfortunate. Hot Dog is very frustrated at the moment. You can clearly tell on his moves. Leo goes a bit wide. Leo goes into the pits. What a relief from
That's
Thomas
quite early,
right there.
actually.
That's actually a bit early. The first of the soft runners now.
Yeah.
Leo comes into pits. Question is, what tire is he gonna go on to? Medium?
Rapid's quite close behind Hot Dog, but
Melzer
I don't
does
think
the
he's going
same.
to make who's far slow. Yeah.
Medium tires for the French driver. What about Melzer?
I don't really understand that, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see how his strategy works out, though. Just from my personal standpoint, I'm not too sure if that'll work out all the best for him.
Same for Melzer, goes in. No, he goes into the. Oh, yes, he goes into the medium tires. Sorry for the confusion. Goes into the medium tires. That's the first of the soft runners pitting. That means Vabercode is gonna try to do the overcut in P4. Try to overcut Leo.
Yeah,
Melzer
take a
also
look
not
at that gap between Netcruise and Fredster. Very, very close here.
Oh, we have a fight for
Fred's gonna
P9.
go
Sorry
for
to
an
interrupt. Oh, we have a battle for the lead. Cause
Yeah, very close. Only 4 tenths between it, and we're going on to the back
Okay.
straight.
Okay.
Car's going to be running for these guys as well, so could be interesting. Can he make an overtake into turn 1? Netcruise is very late on the brakes, which should be interesting, which is kind of a key part in this battle. Wise from Fred there. I wouldn't have gone for an overtake.
Here we go, right?
Stay
Fred
behind.
is more close than ever to Netcruise in the slipstream. Tries to make a move Netcruise defense, respectively, and that's Fred going into the grass. That's gonna compromise his run so much, and he's already 1 second behind. That was dreadful for Fred right there. He couldn't afford to do that because now he needs to do all the job again, and the pit window is nearing for the Ferrari driver, isn't it, Gauche?
An update on the gap. It was 19.9 between Hot Dog and
Touch to
Netcruise, now
Reptilio is
18.4.
going, trying to make move on traffic. Shemileheskey for P6. That's smooth done for the French driver on Heskey.
Interesting.
I'm not sure
Very
if Heskey
well
can
done.
make a move on him. He'll have to look. Leo defense breaks a
Very
bit
good
late,
into Leo,
but
I think.
Leo. Oh,
Right.
Heskey bonds it.
Oh, no.
He bins it out of the exit. Leo didn't do anything wrong there. That's Heskey bidding it on himself. What a turn of events. And also Fred, yeah, no, gosh.
Sorry about that, my mic disconnected. Shemileheskey's got, I think, an orange front wing from what I can see. So that means he's definitely going to have to pit. Has he pit yet, do you know, Linda? Shemil? I'm not too sure.
Shemileheskey, let's see. Stops. Indeed he has. He has made a stop. That was his.
Oh, that's not ideal.
It's not ideal.
If he hadn't pit, he
No.
probably could have got away with it, to be honest.
Oh, Vapid could go
But,
into the bit, so
haven't
interrupt,
pit.
into the
Vapid.
medium tires. Is he gonna come ahead or behind Leo? Leo has some traffic. So let's see. Coming into lap 17, Leo gets past Vapid. That's crucial. Over 2 seconds. It's a big
Yeah,
undercut.
Leo has been quicker, to be honest, than Vapid throughout the race, so... I guess there's no huge surprise there. Hot Dog's got the gap down to 17.2. He's closed in about 3 seconds since the pit stops. Good, but I would say he could have probably wanted better than that, because these guys are going to be far, far quicker at the end. So I would say now he's the guy under the most amount of pressure. He's broke that 17-second window between him and Netcruise. I think Netcruise and Fred are literally just trading it lap on lap on lap on lap on lap for pace.
They're
Really,
doing-
not much can separate them. Good
they're
driving from the
doing-
pair of them as
sorry.
well.
They're doing everything to go as long as they can to go on the supers of the Andre Gauche, so they can pressure
Yeah.
HotDog. But the question is if the gap is just too much when they come out of the pits. Because look at the gap, it's 16 seconds.
8 tenths is what HotDog's closing in. They'll be about 4 seconds behind him. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I certainly wouldn't say it's impossible because they're going
I
to be
think they
on
need to
better
pit
compound
very
tyres
soon
and
if they
fresher
want to have the
tyres.
chance of the really experienced league racer. HotDog 72 points ahead of Fred in
Yeah.
League 2. That's absolutely dominating.
Yeah, that is very much a domination from HotDog. But I'd say race per race, he's not exactly. He's not really been as such dominating every single race. He's had competition week in week out, which is good to see. Tielio in P5, just looking through the order. Antiv Beacon in P4. I believe he's yet to pit. Otherwise, he's just had very good.
Necros comes into the
And
pits.
Necros
Fred
comes into
stays
pits.
out. Let's see why he comes out in
Interesting.
terms compared to HotDog. HotDog coming into the last sector. If you want to follow on Necros, while I follow
Yeah, will do.
HotDog Gauche, he come into the last
Quite a
corner.
cautious
HotDog.
pit entry from Necros there. I would say that he probably could have got half a second there, as he. Yeah, I just had a bit of a game glitch. Apparently, he came out of the garage for me, which isn't good to see. But HotDog's definitely going to have the position on Necros. They swap positions roundabout at the end of the pits. Necros out now on a set of super soft compound tyres. So there's going to be
Yeah,
two
indeed, that's what I
compounds
said.
difference between these guys.
And the gap is around 3 seconds, as you said.
Yes,
That was
this
a
is
really
Necros'
good
race, I would say, personally.
Wow. And Fred still
Can he
yet to
make
pit.
it to the end though?
Yeah, that's the
That's
question.
the question. It's a long. It's. I would say it's ambitious, to be honest, to get to the end. I'm not too sure.
Oh, we have Williams
that'll
drive
make
winning it. That's Shemileheskey.
Shemileheskey's retired.
At middle sector again. That section is just so tricky for the drivers tonight. We now have 13 runners left.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very easy to make a mistake at Hungary. Difficult track. Heskey's left. I'm pretty sure he's not too happy after that. Thing about a league race though is knowing how to regroup yourself. As you can see, Necros is 2.2 behind now, 8 tenths.
Fred
That's a
is still
second
not
already that
pitting.
he's closed.
I think
Yeah,
Necros
I
has
can
nailed
understand
this.
it from Fred, to be honest, because he's going to have newer tyres, and if you consider HotDog's pace at the minute, like, yes, reasonably good, but it's nothing hugely impressive. So if Necros and HotDog are fighting each other, then Fred can just come up with far fresher tyres.
Just look at the
he's
gap,
not
he's-
hugely slower either, so.
He's catch 6 tenths on HotDog for a lap.
Oh, he's got a penalty, time penalty.
That's Fred, yeah, but I'm talking about Necros.
Oh,
It
Necros, yeah. as
cements
well.
his pace. And it's just the advantage of the tire, isn't it? Because otherwise they are quite equal on pace.
Yeah.
Necros is the one to look out for because Fred is still there to pit and he'll be behind the HotDog and Necros for sure.
Yeah, I would say so. It's going to be very interesting because there's going to be a three-way fight for the lead. HotDog will kind of be... The key for him, I would say, is just staying ahead of Necros for the next 5 or 6 laps. Because around about 26, 27, the super softs will kind of lose their shine.
There we
that they
go.
had before.
Fred goes into the pits now.
Fred's
This is
into the
gonna
pits.
be crucial for Necros because now it's all about him and HotDog unless Fred can catch those. Now going to the super softs, as said, 14 lap stint. Necros has a 16 lap stint. Now under the 1 second window, opening the DRS. It's gonna be so tense. Fred comes out behind, no surprise there. The question is if he can catch them in time.
He's not behind by that much, to be honest, though. I think it all depends on how long HotDog can keep that lead. If he keeps it for another couple laps, then I think Fred is really in this, in terms of for the victory. But I would say if Necros can overtake HotDog this lap or next lap, it is really his race to lose. Tielio up into P4 as Antiv Beacon's into the pit
Antiv
lane,
Beacon
Bossly
pits.
up into P6. impressive recovery from Bossly actually to be in P6 and still with a fighting chance of P4 actually. So a lot of respect there. Just gonna check.
Got to follow Necruz though. Necruz in P2 now. Says he's on the soft spot. He is on the super soft, says I'm right. Coming into the last section.
Yeah.
I think surely he can make a move really soon. What's the key to make a move on HotDog Gauche?
I would say the key is really trying to get him to crack under pressure. Because Hungary's a difficult track to overtake. If you manage to slightly get him to miss an overtake, miss a braking point. Didn't take that last corner very well, and Necruz is going round the outside. Can he make an overtake? If I was HotDog, I'd be very late on the brakes. Switching back to the inside. Oh, there's contact!
He brakes. He brakes a bit. Waits for HotDog. HotDog is furiating that a friend gets past. That's a stupid move from Necruz. I think HotDog is fuming at the moment. Fred has got past, and now it's all to play for Fred. What a turbulence! I think Necruz just spotted that. I think he's really mad at himself right now.
He's very, very aggressive.
Fair play that he waited.
Make it even more interesting though,
but because he recognized that that was just not ideal and not fair enough, so he waited for HotDog. But out of that, Fred is into the play, and we have a freeway for the
I don't think they're going to be
fight.
best friends after this race either. Looking at it at the minute, should be an interesting podium interview. 2 Ferraris. Is Fred going to go up the inside? No. HotDog is feeling the pressure. He's
going around the outside into the last section. Here we go then. The 2 Ferraris and the Red Bulls right behind the mix. Necruz tries to get a move on Fred. Side by side into the last corner. Gets contact to the Ferrari. Necruz around the outside. Tries to hang on it. Here we go for the lead.
This could be 3 wide going
days.
into turn 1.
Here we go 3
this
wide.
Is crazy.
Fred going around the outside now of HotDog into
Necruz
turn 1.
Back.
HotDog is doing everything to defend side by side.
This is
Fred
crazy.
Gets the better exit. Oh shit, there we go, side by side into turn 2, I believe. Fred gets the inside line, and that's
Fred into the lead.
Up to P1.
I would say Fred now at the minute he's just got to build a 3-second gap because he's got a 3-second time penalty. HotDog going up the inside. I don't think that was that clever actually from HotDog there, because he was really quite close behind Fred, and he's not going to get a overtake done to turn 4. I think if he had stuck back.
Oh, Necruz tries to make a move, but
HotDog's just got
not enough.
Wide. He's probably going to have to give that position back.
He?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but what you've also got to remember is these guys, super softs, are going to be very worn towards the end, and then the advantage could play to HotDog. But I'm just confused why he went on the mediums. I think that's cost him the race ultimately. Necruz is really going to want to get
I actually think that it was the tire he started on, the super softs. Maybe should have thought it a bit better through.
I think if he had pit later, he would have been, do you get what I mean? He could have taken them tires a little bit longer. If you consider Necruz is going to try and do 16 laps on them. But now it's really looking at advantage Fred for this race win, I would say.
I think Fred has a very good advantage. Necruz needs to get past HotDog as soon as possible if he wants to have a chance at the win, unless there's penalties to count for. Here we go for Necruz then, gets a much better exit than HotDog. Is he gonna make a move into this corner? He looks
Hopefully
a bit...
not.
Hopefully not, no, it doesn't as well. Now coming into this after sector 1, the end of sector 1, probably just before the 50-meter board. He's just dancing all over HotDog, isn't he, Gauche?
Yeah, no parts broken on HotDog's car. I would say he'll be a bit broken-hearted at the minute that he's lost the lead. But nothing's broke or damaged on his car, which I guess is a positive, but he just doesn't seem quick. Oh, look at that!
Oh my, no, my God! That's a back marker!
What just happened
taking out Fredster.
What on earth was that driving?
Was that Steve Eyebrow?
Just recorded that, I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to upload that onto Twitter. so
HotDog
people can see
also
what
has
happened.
lost out coming into the pits. This Hungarian Grand Prix has turned into a crazier terms of events. The Outbrow has DNF from the race. That'll be looked after the race. NiNjAzZ goes into the lead of the race. TLU is on the podium position, and now Bapit and TLU is fighting for P3.
Well, I mean, there's nothing that annoys me more than that. When you see a driver that just literally destroys a race when they're not even in it. I think it's ridiculous.
Also, Rampage
I guess
coming into the pits for some reason. This is crazy.
yeah, Rampage could have been involved in that. I'm just gonna have a look at that collision now. I'll kind of tell you what I can see.
I think we'll have a look after
NiNjAzZ
the
got no
battle,
damage.
Gauche, because
Yeah,
we have a battle for
definitely.
podium. I know. Oh, TLU's up to P2 actually.
Yeah, HotDog's in the pits. It's going to be a close battle for P2. Another very interesting thing is NiNjAzZ could not make it to the end, especially with that spin that he had, because that will put an extra couple % on his tyres. And he's locking up a bit there as well, so I'm not too sure when it comes to that. Tielio only 17.8 off the lead as well.
HotDog fixed his swing, so I'm pretty sure if he can just keep it clean, he should get a pretty confident P2. Question is just who's going to take the last podium positions of these two drivers, both on the medium tires. I gotta speak of Fred though. So unfortunate for Fred. He's not even gonna finish the race as he didn't complete 90% of the race. That's so unlucky. Having such a great race and taking advantage of NiNjAZZ's move.
I really can't believe that happened. It's very rare you see it. I've not actually seen that in SRL before, to be honest. A back marker affecting the race. I'm just watching it now. Yeah.
Anyways,
oh.
Yeah.
You see that? There's just a Ferrari. Basically, I think what's happened is the Toro Rosso's gone to the left.
Yeah.
Fred didn't anticipate that, and he was on the left as well. The Toro Rossos took out Fred, and then Fred goes across and has contact with HotDog and NiNjAzZ. I'm just going to post a photo of it on Twitter.
Okay,
So
that sounds as some special thing. Gosh, we'll look at that after the race if you want to have a look at that. Also, drive the day, we'll come to that later. Bebekut is having a look at TLU now. This battle for the podium positions are on. Here we go then. HotDog, Bapit and TLU. TLU is the guy who's defending the position. What is the crucial key to
this
get
is very
this nailed?
interesting. It's really about braking points into turn 1. You've just got to get that perfect braking point. There's a lot of pressure on TLO because he's really defending from two faster drivers.
HotDog makes an amazing move. Did you see that?
Rapid.
Oh my god!
Double overtake.
Slingshot from turn 1, and he just made a double overtake into the corner
Very
and out of
impressive.
the exit. What a move by the Ferrari driver. That is the move of the day. What a move. And I'll tell you,
Been very interesting in general this race,
it
hasn't
just looked so easy, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. He kind of made it look as if he's got a 2017 car and they've got something out of 2014. It's crazy. Seems to have so much downforce, and he's really executed that move well. 19 seconds off the lead. I don't think that's really going to be in question for him. We'll see though. I mean, 18.9 now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, NiNjAzZ has got some slight damage. I think it might be.
Yeah, he just stayed out for.
Yeah, kind of. You know when you get that damage that you can't see, but it's like still there. So it's not a cosmetic thing, but it's still there. I feel like he could have that because HotDog's closing in very quickly. He's closed in about a second this lap.
I think it's a bit too far away for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, I can't see him making any overtakes unless NiNjAzZ can't make it to the end on his tyres. Vapid and Tielio, also a very close one to look out for Mundo.
Yeah, I'm currently looking at them. Teleo and Agudello has been following each other pretty much the whole race, and early on it was actually the opposite, where Teleo had the pace advantage on Vapid and just put constant pressure, but now it's complete opposite now. Vapid is putting constant pressure on Teleo, and what does that psychologically mean? That it's just switch around, Gauche?
Yeah, it really is, because TLEO was really the guy that was faster than Vapid. Now Vapid seems to have got himself together. He also came into the pits later, so pressure on TLEO now. He seems to be handling it quite well, but this means we've got a very interesting fight for P3.
Indeed it is.
Antiv Beacon also quite close behind. Keep an eye on that. Antiv Beacon pit later than these guys, and is he closing in?
That's true, actually.
Yeah, he is. 4 seconds.
To tell about a bit about Antiv, Antiv Beacon had a pretty calm race, only one stop, starting on the mediums, and he's just jumped all the other guys, Melter, Boston, etc. Melter also had a pretty calm race, so if Antiv Beacon can take advantage of this battle that is just tantalizing and climaxing up to this end of the race, that would be crucial to see.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't really know of Antiv. He's not got a pace advantage over these guys hugely, I wouldn't say, because he's not as such closing in, but he's just there. So if any of them make a mistake, then he'll definitely be a threat. Bit of lag there, but nothing too severe. Bossly's also closing up to Malta. So there's a lot of battles in this race. In a way, it's a bit of a shame that Fredster was wiped out, because
that kind of ruined it, didn't it? And also,
it did
just
kind
the
of spoil the
incident
party.
itself.
Yeah, it is a shame,
Unfortunate.
and I can't really understand it from the other driver's perspective.
It will definitely be looked at
we'll see.
in the stewards panel.
Certainly.
So yeah. If you want to get an
I
update,
think
you can also.
the guy that finishes third
go
is
on.
going to be very happy as well.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah,
can you check
because both
penalties?
of these
Because
guys-
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, sure. I
Yes.
can check penalties.
Vapid
Just as we
is
say that, yeah, Leo.
Trying to make a move. Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of lag. No contact, I don't think. That was very close.
Penalty for Net Cruise, and no penalty for Hot Dog. Penalty for TLEO. Penalty for Vapid and 2 warnings.
Ah, okay. So it's
And
actually
interestingly,
Vapid.
oh no, Antiv does have a penalty. Didn't think he had a penalty for a second.
So it's actually Vapid trying to pressure while being on the limit for the penalties, because if he gets one more warning, then he's out of the play for P3. That means he has 2 penalties compared to Teleo's 1 penalty. So it's also played for Vapid. He needs to nail these corners. Teleo goes a bit wide, but doesn't. He takes an interesting line into every corner. Yeah, it takes a very interesting line. Now Vapid is also having a look. It looks like, what do you call it? Fast in, slow out, I would call it.
Yeah, I would say. I would say personally he could find a bit of pace if he perfected his lines. Like I'm not, obviously I'm not like randomly on this game, but if you
here we go
running,
then.
I think he could
Vapid
get
is going
attempts
round the outside
outside.
of Teleo, making a switch
Switch
back.
back.
Now getting the better exit. Here we go, side by side into turn 2. Teleo is gonna defend.
Very
Vapid
close.
going around the outside. Oh, having a
Late on the
switch back.
brakes.
Oh,
Very
what
good
a
move.
by Vapid.
Very
Good.
good
Him
move
up
by
to
Vapid.
P3. Now he just needs to maintain this position and not get another warning. What a move by the American.
Look how close TLEO is behind Vapid. Just gonna check if Vapid did get a penalty, because he did go slightly wide. No, he didn't get anything.
Oh, Teleo makes a mistake. Oh, that's gonna put him
Yeah, it's not looking
over the
that
1
ideal
second.
for him for the podium. Bossly, look at Bossly, he's right up behind Malta. And Antiv Beacon.
yeah, and also the
Antiv
battle
Beacon's made some
P5.
sort of mistake.
Just
He's now
before we talk
15
about this
seconds
battle,
off.
Gauche, I had to mention that Teleo actually pitted earlier than Vapid could.
Yeah, he did.
So that's maybe why that Vapid has the edge on the pace at the end of the race, because of just fresher tires, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, because especially towards the end, it makes a big difference. Looks like the battle for the lead is over though.
Battle for P5 is on now. Enter Beacon's pull a bit away, but Melter and Bosley is battling away. Bosley on the super soft tires. So, how has Bosley's race been, Gauche?
Yeah, it looks to have been quite good for Bosley. He didn't really have the best start, and now he's up into 7th, and he could get 5th. So I've got to take my hat off to Bosley. He's done a very good job. I hope for him that he gets a good result. Because he really does deserve it, I would say, in this race, because he's come from last and now is really pressurising for some good results.
Here we go then,
Just
into the middle sector. Bosley has the massive advantage, just needs to find that gap, and indeed he does now. He's gonna make a move into the chicane.
He's gonna make a move.
Oh, he does, goes down the inside, here goes squeezing a bit, and that's now around the outside of Melter. Taking advantage. Next up, answer Beacon for him. Good move by Bosley right there.
Yeah, I think that shows really that the racing in this tier can be very impressive. Yeah, there was the incident for the lead, but them kind of things happen in league racing, and I think when you've got racing like that, and for them guys to keep it clean, it's massive respect really. Rampage is up behind them as well, but kind of in a more negative way for Bosley, he's actually had the gap between him and Antiv Beacon open up massively, as it's 2.7 at the minute, but he's far quicker from what I can see than Antiv.
And also, Leo is not out of it. 6/10 behind Vabikud, putting pressure on the Merc driver
Interesting.
on the last few laps. And Vabikud still on the edge of penalties. More warning, and the podium is just gone for Vabikud. I'm not sure if Leo is aware of that, but he's definitely putting the pressure on Vabikud, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely is. He's just been very, very smooth this race. It'll be interesting to see if he can get past Rapid again, but there's going to be two very close battles for the end of the race. There's going to be Bosley, Antiv Beacon, Malta and Rampage, and there's also going to be Tielio and Vapid, so on the last lap we could be in for some very interesting racing.
Here we go then for the second to last lap. 8/10 is the gap for Tielio, opening the IS flap. It's not enough. What about Rampage coming into the last sector on his own teammate on the freshest super soft tires? Rampage has a lap 1 collision, I think. But haven't really paid that much notice to Rampage. But here we go then for P7. It's not enough yet.
Yeah.
As he gets a penalty, but also play for these last 2 laps.
Yeah, definitely. Tielio just ran wide, but he's very close behind Vapid. 3/10 is the gap. He's really almost pushing him along through this section. Very nicely taken by both of them drivers. Can he make a move on that 35? It'll be interesting to see. I've got to take my hat off to Vapid though, and both of these guys, to be honest, they've had brilliant races.
Necruz is coming into the pits.
Necruz
has come into the pits. Wow, on the last
What's
lap.
happened here?
HotDog is coming into the lead now on the last lap. What about Leo then coming into the last corners? Why are they gonna come out compared to Necruz?
That's mad.
For some reason, going into the pits. Now here we go
I think
for
it's what I was
Leo.
saying about them tyres not being able to make it.
Or a mandatory. I can't find a way. Necruz gets comfortably ahead, so P2 is his. But surely he's not gonna be happy about that. Here we go, Leo. Taking a bit of a look for the last podium position, last lap. We're gonna keep an eye on HotDog, of course, on the straight for him winning the race. Anyways, this is also play for Leo. He needs to pressure Vabikud as much as possible, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely, as we've got the Magic Yeti retiring from the session. But Tielio really does need to just go for an overtake now, I would say, if he wants P3. He's got to be clean, but he's really pressurising Vapid. You can see taking different lines there. Rapid's handling it very well though, as we've got an incident in Sector 2. Is this going to affect any of these guys? No, it's Rampage. Rampage is made a mistake.
Oh.
But anyways,
Here we go.
back onto the battle.
Yeah.
3 attempts in it. This is very close. I don't think TLEO is going to get it done though. Very nice through there.
Oh, he gets a
TLEO's
penalty.
got a second penalty.
That's just gone, isn't it? I think that's
Yeah, it is.
Bebikud going for his first podium of the season, if I'm correct. HotDog wins the race. I missed
I think
that
he's
anyway.
first podium in this league in
HotDog
general
wins
as well.
the race. Necros in P2. Bebikud coming around for the checkered flag. P3 podium,
Impressive.
first podium for him. Tilio P4, second highest position of the season. And the beacon now comes for P5, just followed by Bossly. And Rampage making a mistake, as you said, just cruising at the last second. Don't know what happened there. He's got wing damage.
Yeah.
Adamly in P8, not seen much from him. It's P7, sorry.
A little
not
bit
P8.
off topic, but what assist does Leo use under? You know,
I'm not sure
Don't know.
actually, but I can tell you that medium TC and line is allowed. That's the
okay,
only
so
assists.
yeah, not huge amounts of assists then. He might not even use TC. From what I could see, it didn't really look like he was a TC user, so it probably could just be line only.
What a turns of the
Do you want to
wins.
invite the podium finishes
Yeah,
to the party
that's
in
the
the
race
middle?
over, guys. Thanks for all those tuning in. Massive support on the stream. We're gonna get the guys' POVs on, and I'm sure we're also gonna have a bit of thoughts on what actually happened with Fred and etc. Because that's probably the highlight of the race. Not in a positive way, of course, but just in a dramatic way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's happy either. His car's broken, and I would say he probably feels a bit upset at the minute as well. HotDog will probably be surprised he got that victory. Not too good for the championship though, so that's a shame. Really ends the title fight, which is never good to see, but I guess it's just part of league racing. Hello HotDog, congrats on your victory. Very impressive.
Let's get these guys in, and remember to include your audio, guys. Include your audio.
Yep, done it.
Okay, Gauche, would you start with HotDog?
Yeah, definitely. How did it go for you, Thomas? Did you have a good race? What did you think of the collision? And how about your strategy? Like, do you regret your strategy at all, or?
Well, I didn't actually know the strategy. I didn't know it was supers to softs. So I went from supers to mediums. And once I realised Fred was doing supers to softs, I knew he was probably going to win. And he had the pace to, he deserved it. The Hyte crashed out. I was looking at it with him. But then,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
was
what
looking pretty
happened
good.
in the Stevie Brow. I saw Fred rammed into the back of him because he must have brake checked him or something. Next round there, Fred's
Yeah,
flying across the track and he's hit me.
Just let him sleep.
So
Yeah,
I had wing damage, so I had to pit. And then I was kind of worried about
So-
injuries, but I was Go on.
Sorry about
I was confused on whether he was like pitting for a second
Okay,
time because I saw him do 2 soft stints. And he pit on the final lap,
Yeah,
so I
sorry
was a bit
about that.
confused about.
Sorry about that. My mic's kind of broken, so you're like a bit delayed. But
Okay.
congratulations on the victory. Hold on. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask him anything,
Yeah.
Lindo? I'm sure you got some questions.
Well, it's quite hectic race, isn't it? The pressure from Necros and Fred was on. How did you feel there with those starting on softs?
Originally I was confused, but then I realised the strategy afterwards and I thought, oh, okay. But I had Hyte being my little engineer at the end of the race, telling me what was going on between Fred and Ucruise until they crashed. So that helped me out a lot. He was telling me what was going on with all the times and stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, I feel bad for Fred. He deserved that.
I think we all do. That was just unlucky and unfortunate. But congrats on another win for Thomas. That's your, let me see, it's like 7th. Yep, that's your 7th race win of the season. And that's a quite good margin to go into the Christmas break, isn't it?
I don't actually know how big it is, to be honest. I haven't seen it.
I don't think you have to worry right now about the gap, but I think you could be pretty comfortable. Anyways, let's go forward to NiNjAzZ. How are you doing, man? How was your race? Tell us, just give us your thoughts. If he's here, is he here?
No, he's not in the party at the minute.
Oh. Okay.
It's raging on stuff in the chat.
The start with weapon could include the audio, mate. How was your race? Hectic race for Telio, wasn't it? Tell us about it. Rapid.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm so happy with
Include the audio.
Yeah, I've got included. Oh god, I'm so happy with that race. Finally, my first podium in this league.
Yeah, that was fantastic, Rapid. I've got to admit, that was one of the best I've seen in this game that you made towards the end. So yeah, congrats on that.
I seen he was moving a little bit under the braking, and then I seen he went wide, so I kind of had to go for it. I was like, this is probably the only opportunity I'm going to get, so I kind of just had to go for it and just hoped it stuck.
Yeah, well done. Really good.
Oh god.
Rapid, how was your strategy into the race? And you want to say something to Telio? Was it fair play, or was there anything that we didn't see?
First of all, Telio, brilliant. Honestly, he was just a brilliant fight the whole race through. Generally, I just didn't have the pace, so I kind of thought he was going to get the podium, but fair play to him. He actually did a good job. I'm just rubbish. Rubbish at Hungary. I do not have the pace whatsoever, but I'm quite shocked to come away with a podium, so I'll take it.
Yeah. GG, man. Doesn't look like NiNjAzZ is joining, so that's gonna round out the F2 stream, guys. Thanks for those tuning in. And don't hang leaving, for tomorrow is the actual SRL race day for all the higher tiers. We're gonna start off with the Xbox One F1 tier tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. UK, Hungary. Stay tuned for that, where all the no assist users will give it a go around Agudello. And just followed by that will be PS4 at 8:30 p.m. UK, where Andy, the legend himself, will commentate along Jamie streaming. So stay tuned for that, guys. Tomorrow we'll follow us on Twitter, SupremeRL, where we'll keep you updated on everything regarding this race week. Otherwise, we are heading on Christmas break for F2 now. We'll be back 4th January, if I'm correct. So see you there.
Bye.